All right, y'all look at that thumbnail. Y'all see it, bro. And today we got every dragon or higher rank from weakest to the strongest. And you already know, bro, who we got on him, bro. I'm here for it. I can't never say pronounce bro name, but you know. We gotta see every dragon or higher, cause we know Lord Boros is in there. And bro, we gotta see what he at, bro. Cause yeah, remember he probably didn't say Tommy though, so of course, but let's just see what it's gonna lead, bro. Let's just see what it goes.
In chapter 202, the manga finally officially introduced the dragon or higher threat level. It's a long hint to that in the data.
Oh, I ain't knew Orochi. I forgot Orochi was that too. See, yeah, Lord Boros, Lord Boros, I think Lord Boros, Lord Boros, he been fighting like monsters like other outer spaces and stuff. And then like there was other things too, saying like he had another form, but I guess he you know what I'm saying, we never get to see it or whatever. I just been seeing it on social media, bro. Like I don't know if that's true or not, bro. So that's just rumors. But yo, I didn't know. One even gave you the answer. Dragon or higher, bro. Okay. But of course he finds Saitama though, so of course you know we gonna lose to Saitama, bro. Yeah, and I forgot Orochi was like that too. I forgot. Dang, my fault.
Book and some other statements. This certainly bridges the gap between dragons and the elusive god level threat that is reserved for threats capable of global annihilation. But after this reveal, you should ask yourself, why does this matter and does it change anything? You see, in terms of power scaling,
does it? I think it probably.
Clarity, dragon or higher acknowledges monsters that surpasses typical dragons.
I know wasn't what you call it was unknown. What you call it was unknown. Eva Ocean Water?
Aren't really confirmed as god level threats. It actually feels like this term acts as the narrative.
What, King up there?
Isn't really confirmed as.
Look at King up there, boy. Woof. No, it's dangerous. You got King up there.
God level threats. It actually feels like this term acts as a narrative safeguard, preventing premature god level labels while hyping future reveals such as God blasts foes and his companions.
See, bro, this who I want to see right here, bro. Who is this? Who is this? I want to see my boy Boros, but we already know what that is.
Also retroactively validates fan theories about above dragon threats without disturbing the series' power hierarchy. So did it change anything? Technically yes, but not really at the same time. It in fact formalizes what fans already inferred, which is some dragons far outclasses others, but at the same time it also sets a precedent for future threats, implying god level would be exceedingly rare, possibly only reserved for the final arc. This is, in my opinion, definitely concludes that dragon or higher is a placeholder for peak power, ensuring the god level tier remains mythic. So for now, it's a win for scaling consistency and hype. Alright, now that we've defined the tiers, it's very crucial to note that only 4 monsters are officially
wait, I thought Eva Ocean Water wasn't Eva Ocean. I thought Eva Ocean Water. One of the monsters was unknown. One of these monsters was unknown in the monster art. I forget what one it was though. Dang.
Confirmed as dragon or higher. However, I'll also include others who narratively and logically belong in this elite category, and will also rank them from weakest to strongest based on whatever available statements and feats we currently have. But before that, make sure to break the subscribe button and the notification bell for more of these One Punch Man videos. Thank you. Now before we begin, let's first address a core rule of One Punch Man, which is matchups are everything. Raw power alone doesn't guarantee victory. Things like hacks, abilities, speed and durability can flip the script entirely. Our ranking, however, focuses on overall effectiveness within the series. How do they stack up against the broader cast, and how well do they embody their threat level definition? Take Neon vs Homeless Emperor for example. If you go by pure threat scaling, Emperor far outclasses him and is not even even funny. Stronger firepower is generally above things like stealth, but in a direct confrontation, Neon's speed and crack phasing could let him assassinate Emperor before a single energy ball fires. This is why top tier battles get messy. The stronger the characters, the more variables come into play. Some of these characters could realistically defeat one another depending on the circumstances. Some of these characters.
I be forgetting what their cat name, but I always feel like this is like one of the underrated characters, bro. And villain, bro. I feel like this is one of the underrated, bro. I feel like this right here is very underrated, bro. Underrated.
Could realistically defeat one another depending on their circumstances, so if you can make a compelling case for why character 9, for example, beats character 8 or vice versa, then that's perfectly fine. Now let's start ranking these dragon or higher monsters. Starting off with an honorable mention, we have Cruel Dragon. This short-lived monster was once considered a cataclysmic threat to humanity, sealed away at the cost of countless lives long ago. However, there's certainly a major caveat regarding his scaling and where he actually stands, which is having absolutely no concrete idea of how strong humanity was back in the day.
I mean, yeah, say Tommy easily just one lick of dragon. That wait, can that dragon grant wishes and stuff too?
And since Cruel Dragon was ultimately featless and effortlessly defeated by Saitama, his true power sadly remains speculative. That being said, recent theories have linked him to a much larger mystery, as some speculate he could be one of God's 4 guardians, alongside Gimbu and Byakko, potentially representing
It's possible. It's possible now. It's possible.
The Azure Dragon from the Chinese mythology. Since the parallels are surely intriguing, I mean his ceiling involved 9 stones mirroring God's 9 cubes, and his whole lore foreshadows God's influence. However, without any confirmation, this remains just a plausible theory but still unproven. Coming in at number 9, we've got Platinum S. Now, if you already accept Golden S as a high dragon, then it's no stretch to call his upgraded form dragon or higher. This monster was so confident in his newfound power that he believed he could finally defeat King, the same King who dismissed the cadres like they were some kinds of insects. However, Platinum didn't just talk big. He matched Flashy Flash and Garu in speed, 2 characters that are depicted as speedsters unlike any we've seen before. Not to mention that even Atomic Samurai, who'd faced and witnessed many dragons, singled out Platinum S's aura as uniquely overwhelming, a distinction he didn't grant to any other monster on the battlefield. Some of you would say that he is not a well-rounded fighter, as seeing that he heavily relies on speed, but the fact that he tanks the Godslayer Fist, even though unperfected and no Soul Flashy's hit, clearly indicates that he is still strong in the strength department. While Platinum S's speed is surely insane, the monsters above him on this list have more concrete feats and broader combat showings that better embodies the dragon or higher tier. But if you wanna make a case that he can defeat some of them for displaying way higher speeds, it's totally fine. At number 8, we have the Monster King Orochi, confirmed by Murata himself in a past stream to be dragon level or above. This monster, in my opinion, is self-explanatory, as Girogiro and Goketsu both acknowledged him as the strongest monster in the Monster Association, with Girogiro even believing that no hero, including King and Tatsubaki, could ever hope to defeat him. This isn't surprising at all, given Orochi's combat genius, versatility, fighting techniques, and
yeah, Orochi definitely up there with God, bro. I mean, dragon or higher, definitely higher. However it goes again.
Battle regeneration that can be difficult against any opponent. His only notable weakness is his regeneration core, which could be exploited if sensor detected. However, his devastating earth core generated attack, which is the Gaia Cannon, clearly confirms why he is considered as a dragon or higher. Certainly embodies this threat level much more than the previous character. At number 7, we have Sage Centipede. Narratively
speaking, I thought it was like unknown.
Sage Centipede, along with the monster that follows, could arguably be stronger than Orochi. This assumption stems from God's decision to send these 2 monsters to assumably deal with Saitama even after witnessing him defeating Orochi. However, to be perfectly honest, there are several factors to consider before solidifying this conclusion. One is God's awareness, what he knows and doesn't know. It's possible that God wasn't actively observing Saitama's fights at all. 2, these monsters didn't appear when Saitama was present, but
Threat level, yeah, unknown. It's unknown. It's unknown. And even ain't evil ocean water is unknown. So yeah, I think they. Yeah, I really do believe they are higher, like of God type level.
But instead emerged directly in front of Garu. So the hateful fist that turned against God might refer to individuals who have broken or are in the process of breaking their limiters. While I'm perfectly aware that Garu later speculated that Sage Centipede was likely referring to Saitama, the pre-Ratcon chapter made me suggest another possibility. You see, I'm not sure that this is still an idea that one and Morata has in their mind, but Garu himself possesses a trait or a factor that defies God, one potentially exclusive to those who've shattered their limiters. Since as Genus said, God has set a limiter to every being, so it would make sense that those who remove their limiters are the hateful fist that wrongs the God. So maybe Sage Centipede was actually talking about Garu. Number 3 is the increased monster activity. Stronger monsters have been appearing more frequently as Blast claimed that God is intervening more actively in response to something or someone drawing him near, which is obviously Saitama, which means God may simply be dispatching powerful monsters to eliminate threats indiscriminately regardless of their actual strength. I mean, they should be strong, but it's not concrete that God is actually power scaling. And even if he was, you can argue that he has sent 2 monsters to deal with Saitama. The fourth possibility is that God knows that Saitama is extremely strong but sent Sage Centipede and Evil Ocean Water to help strengthen Garu to defeat Saitama. But nonetheless, all of these are speculative theories, and until proven otherwise, Sage Centipede should be still regarded as superior to Orochi, even though the latter just seems much more impressive. At number 6, we have Evil Ocean Water.
Yeah, see, Evil Ocean Water is very confusing. Evil Ocean Water just absorbed, bro. It's so much. I like it, but it's so like, you know.
So I merely rank it above Sage Centipede primarily due to its crazy potential to.
Yeah, see, bro, when I saw that, I'm like, bro, Evil Ocean Water can be very, very dangerous and a huge threat. That when I saw it right here, bro, like, yeah, bro, this joke can be very a threat for real.
To flood the entire planet, and the fact that it required a serious punch from Saitama to be fully eradicated. So in my personal view, this feature passes and is much more impressive than Garu's perfected fist in sheer scale. However, Evil Ocean Water's potential surely embodies the dragon or above classification more definitively than Sage Centipede's physical prowess. But if you feel like prioritizing Sage Centipede's feats over global floating potential, ranking him higher is still a reasonable.
I prefer Evil Ocean Water. I feel like Evil Ocean Water should at least be like number 4 to me. But number 5. Number 5.
At number 5, we have Psycho Orochi, a fusion between psychos who could even arguably be placed on this list by her own and the Monster King Orochi. I know that one could argue that Sage Centipede and Evil Ocean Water might be stronger given their direct creation by God and his apparent awareness of her power, but to be
I was like, and I get whatever her name, Psyche, number 6.
To be perfectly honest, I can only be generous enough to put them above Orochi based on these speculations, but not Psycho Orochi. Reasons why is simply because she seems like she possesses the raw firepower to breach Sage Centipede's defenses and the precision to dismantle Evil Ocean Water. Her psychic abilities further tip the scales, offering strategic advantages neither monster can seemingly counter. And most compelling, however, are her demonstrated feats where she stood her ground with nerfed Tatsumaki and remained standing against multiple S-class heroes even in a severely weakened state. A level of performance neither Sage Centipede nor Evil Ocean Water can be seen replicating in my opinion. But while the narrative positions God spawns as escalating threats, it's just for now concrete evidence favors Psycho Orochi. So until we receive clearer insight into God's power assessment or have a further understanding of how strong these monsters were in the future, Psycho Orochi with her potential to become the planet itself definitely deserves to be above. At number 4 and 3, we have Gimbu and Byakko. So listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, but
bro, these right here is in another dimension, bro. These are God pets right here. These right here are God's pets. what, guardian pets or whatever.
But I believe that these two monsters have an even narrative position that suggests they already surpass all previous monsters, being divine creatures who serve.
Yeah, they are God's guardian pets, bro. Yeah, know what I'm saying? Like these, and plus they coming from out of another dimension, another higher dimension, bro. Come on, what are we? Yeah, these are him dangerous right here, bro.
As guardians of God only means they are much more amped by him and should be stronger than any we've seen. I mean, there are other evidence such as withstanding direct attacks from.
Yeah, see, bro, see when I saw this scan, and then people saying it like it regenerated, cause I kind of believe it, cause you know I see my boy Empty Goat slice the turtle. And you see the pieces, but then you see like the pieces, and then like in the next scan, it like they regenerate they pieces back. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like that's crazy right now. But Empty Goats, look at my goat, bro. Look at the goats. And that right there was hard too. What your boy Blab was doing, what a Giga Cannon, whatever. Yeah, that was hard too. Not the teeth out. That was beautiful. I like that part.
Both Blast and Void before losing his divine power.
And these are and we gotta keep in mind that Blast and Empty Goat, they like what on the same levels and stuff like that. Yeah.
Implying exceptional resilience and durability. Also requiring Blast to banish them to another dimension rather than destroying them speaks volume of the fact that he recognized them as significant threats that couldn't be conventionally eliminated.
Yeah, especially when he said, I left my position too far or something. Yeah, that when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, D right here must be a threat. Well, yeah, something serious.
Possibly for having.
And look at your boy Goat still was up in the air. Tommy was still in the air when they did all this in seconds and stuff. Let's go.
As significant threats that couldn't be conventionally eliminated, possibly for having busted regeneration abilities or straight up being immortals. You can even go further to say that these two monsters' abilities to breach dimensional barriers highly parallels Garu's near accomplishment in his gargoyle form against Saitama, placing them in an elite tier. However, one could also argue that this was possibly accomplished by hacks rather than raw power, same way Garu almost did, but Blast's reaction and expressions tells a different story. So the combination of their divine origin, displayed durability, and the extraordinary measures required to contain them solidifies their position above previous monsters. Now, number 2 and 1 are very interchangeable, and you can reasonably reverse their order without issues. So if you...
I feel like Lord Boros is number 1, and your boy it gotta be Cosmic Garu. He gotta be number 2, but he also, with Cosmic Garu, he can copy though, so that will always give him like a up advantage. This right here is the most broken character, bro. Cosmic Garu is like one of the most broken characters, bro. In One Punch Man, this is so far. This is like Cosmic Garu is one of the broken characters, bro. Straight up broken, man. He can just easily copy and just do it better than you.
You believe that 2 should be 1 and 1 should be 2, it's still perfectly fine. So at number 2, we have Monster Form Garu, and I do not mean Cosmic Form.
Oh, okay. So we ain't doing Cosmic. Okay, we're doing Monster. Okay, cool.
But more so talking about Garu at his peak before receiving God's powers.
Okay.
You see, Garu without a doubt should be a dragon or higher, evidenced by decisively defeating Sage Centipede, who's already a top tier.
I thought we were doing Cosmic, bro. Yeah.
Monster talked about on this particular video. He went on to evolve more to the point of withstanding punches from Saitama himself, almost able to break the dimensional seal with sheer raw strength and parry some of Saitama's punches enough to visibly frustrate him. But you see, the primary difficulty in this comes from our inability to determine how much Saitama was holding back against both Garu and the number 1 monster on this list.
See that right now, they both. Saitama was holding back on Cosmic Garu, but Lord Boros knew that he was holding back this whole time.
However, authorial implications strongly suggest that these two combatants exist in relative parity. Any confrontation between them should be an extremely difficult battle with no clear favorite. Which brings us to number 1, which is the dominator of the universe, Lord Boros, an alien conqueror whose strength mirrors Saitama's own.
People were trying to downplay this guy, bro. I thought they were trying to downplay him, bro.
Existential dilemma of overwhelming power.
It's just that he's going against Saitama, bro.
Fits Boros to this pinnacle position is Saitama's own repeated acknowledgements of his strength.
強いよお前はやっぱ強えよお前結構強かったよマジで
Even remarking that their battle almost felt like a real fight. But you see, the ranking debate between 1 and 2 ultimately hinges on one key question. Was the Saitama who fought Garou significantly stronger than the one he faced Boros? You see, chapter 166 revelation about Saitama's growth mechanics suggests his power scales to match worthy opponents, implying comparable strength levels during both battles. However, if you interpret Saitama's growth as constant daily improvement, then placing Garou above Boros should still be fine. I've already made videos about this, although I consider them old, but still you should go and check them out. Now, one more important consideration that needs to be mentioned is that we must consider Gimbo and Byaku's potential superiority, their ability to withstand.
I did want to see more of them though, bro. But I feel like we're gonna see them like way like. I feel like we're probably gonna see some more of them like in the Bro, they're gonna be a long time before we see them ever again, bro. Cause the Neo Heroes, bro. Oh my god, it's so much going on, and now it's this cliff. It leave you like in a cliffhanger after another cliffhanger after another cliffhanger. I'm like, oh lord, bro. It's just so much going on over there, and I'm so ready for it, bro. Oh, the Neo Hero, bro. I'm ready for that right now, bro.
Attacks from Void and Blast.
But I feel like they're gonna probably return like after all the fight has ended, and then this I think when Saitama probably I feel like Saitama probably gonna fight something similar to this. I don't know. We just gotta see what One Sensei doing, bro. This gonna be crazy, bro.
Beings who could dominate anyone else on this list suggests that these divine guardians might actually belong in the top spots. However, without more concrete feats beyond surviving those hits and their dimensional banishment, we sadly lack enough sufficient evidence to definitively place them above Boros and Garou. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I hope you find the analysis insightful. Remember to take care of yourself, and I hope I see you.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen, bro. Hey, like I said, man, I'm giving it to we just gotta see more, bro. I'm just saying, bro. But you already know. Think about it, it's not a good stuff, man. I'm out.